Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan Battle video. In this video we are going to be taking a look at the atypical low class warrior Turles. So this is the strength Turles from the Tree of Might event, and we're going to see just how good he is after his Dokkan Awakening. So he reduces physical type enemies attack and defense by 30%. He raises attack and defense 1 turn, causes supreme damage to the enemy. He has Ki +2, attack and defense of 120%, an additional attack and defense of 90% when performing a super attack. All enemies attack -30%, medium chance of stunning the attacked enemy, an additional attack and defense of 60%, and a medium chance of guarding all attacks when facing 2 or more enemies, and chance of evading an enemy's attack, including super, plus 30% when the target enemy is in attack down status. He has Brutal Beatdown, Saiyan Warrior Race, Prepared for Battle, Destroyer the Universe, Thirst for Conquest, Big Bad Bosses, and Sharing the Limit as his link set. And he has Low Class Warriors, Movie Bosses, Pure Saiyans, Terrifying Conquerors, Space Traveling Warriors, and Planetary Destruction. Now, basically, to cut a long story short, so that everyone can understand, this guy is very good for, or a good option for Super Battle Road and Extreme Super Battle Road. He's not necessarily an option you want to consider for other kinds of game modes. He has a lot of factors that make him really good for SBR. Things like attack lowering, things like chance of stunning, things like guarding when there's multiple enemies, evasion based on attack down. So a lot of that's very relevant. Stat wise, he's not insane. His defense goes up substantially when he fires a super, so essentially if you see 93k, it goes up to like around 170-ish, and then after the super it'll be around 200k, which is pretty good. He is lowering the opposition's attack most of the time if they're susceptible to that, so that's also something that's pretty nifty and pretty helpful. His attack stat here isn't too great, but we have no links active and no support, so I'll give it to him. He will probably get an easier down the line. That does tend to happen with free-to-play units. I think his kit is pretty good for a Turles unit. So yeah, I think overall he looks really solid. For me, he's a fun little unit. He could be a very unique, interesting option that you can kind of add into, a lot of situations. You can add him into, situations for SBR, ESBR. And I think that makes him a very viable option from a free-to-play standpoint. However, you're not going to be able to take this guy into super hard content. He's not going to facilitate the new Turles and make him an absolute beast. But he is a pretty fun little kind of nifty unit to use for other content. And I think that's really kind of where he is. Obviously, he will get an easy aim, as he, not right now, but eventually. I don't think it matters too much. It will always kind of be attack debuff orientated, which means it will always be for that subsect of SBR, ESBR gameplay. With that being said, it's obviously still great. I think it's a really awesome unit. I think he has a lot going on. Just remember that the stun from his passive only lasts for 1 turn, so it's not something you can just get super easily. So yeah, but other than, well, it's not something that's going to last 2 turns. It's not as effective as a super attack stun. But with that being said, I think he's pretty fun. He doesn't really link up with Turles, so outside of that, it's not like he's got a great link set. He does have Thirst for Conquest, Big Bad Bosses, and these are relatively helpful links because obviously they allow him to facilitate some of the other Terrifying Conquerors units. But it's not like he is swimming in great links. With that being said, Big Bad Bosses is kind of the only real crucial one that you have. And outside of that, he does obviously provide his own key in his passive. So he isn't, long lost or suffering for key or anything like that. Because he's free to play and because he's only really usable in secular game mode, I would not suggest that you link level this guy. I would not even suggest that you put orbs in this guy, to be honest with you. He's a fun little unit, but he's not going to facilitate your new Turles unit. He's not going to elevate your team dramatically. If you're super stuck with SBR, like Terrifying Conquerors SBR or Space Traveling Warriors, then yes, this guy could be an option 100%. But I just don't think it's mandatory. I just don't think he's someone you want to do a long-term investment in or a lot of resources in. With that being said, he is still a lot of fun, and I think he's still a decent addition to those teams if you're like me and you're a veteran and you just want to try him out. So, from that reason, I think overall, it's all pretty good to go. But yeah, outside of that, link set wise, prepared for battle, more Saiyan orientated, thirst for conquest, big map bosses, those are the focal points. Sharing the limit gives you some key coverage, prepared for battle gives you some key coverage, and then you have Destroyer of the Universe, which is very much a Turles centric link. But that's gonna be it from me. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, bye.